Level 1. Apathy. No motivation. At the lowest level of motivation lies apathy, the complete absence of drive or desire. It's not simply laziness, it's a psychological shutdown, where even basic goals feel meaningless. People in this state often describe life as something that happens to them, not something they participate in. Tasks that once felt important, work, relationships, personal growth, lose all emotional weight. The brain's reward system becomes desensitized. Even imagining success or change triggers no energy to act. This level is often linked to burnout, depression, or learned helplessness, when repeated failure convinces the mind that effort no longer matters. Externally, apathy looks like stillness, procrastination, withdrawal, or neglect of daily routine. Internally, it feels like emotional flatlining, a quiet surrender to nothingness. Without intervention, apathy can last for months or years, eroding self-worth and reinforcing the belief that nothing will ever improve.
Level 2. External pressure. Forced motivation. At this level, motivation doesn't come from within, it's borrowed from fear, obligation, or survival. People act not because they want to, but because they have to. Deadlines, financial pressure, social judgment, or the fear of punishment become the main engines of effort. This kind of motivation can create bursts of productivity, but it's unstable. Once the external force disappears, so does the drive. The body often responds with stress, anxiety, and exhaustion, as every task feels like a battle against resistance rather than a movement toward meaning. While external pressure can keep life functioning, bills get paid, work gets done, it rarely leads to satisfaction. It sustains survival, not purpose. Many people stay trapped here for years, mistaking fear-based motion for discipline. Level 3. Reward-based motivation. Here, motivation starts to feel lighter, but it's still dependent. People move not to avoid pain, but to chase pleasure. The promise of a reward, money, praise, recognition, or success becomes the fuel. This level can be powerful. Entire careers, industries, and personal transformations are built on it. But it also has a quiet trap, because once the reward is gone, the drive fades too. You start needing constant validation to keep going, like a runner who can't move without the crowd cheering. Externally, it looks productive. Internally, it's fragile, because the motivation isn't truly yours. It belongs to the outcome, not the journey. Level 4. Intrinsic motivation, personal interest. At this level, the source of movement shifts inward. You no longer chase rewards, you chase the feeling itself. The act of doing becomes its own satisfaction. Writers who lose track of time while creating, athletes training for the love of the motion, coders who build for the thrill of solving, they live here. It's curiosity-driven, playful, and self-sustaining. Failure doesn't sting as much because learning itself feels like progress. Discipline starts to look like passion in disguise. But even here, there's a shadow. When personal interest fades, motivation can vanish overnight. True mastery requires carrying momentum even after excitement disappears. Level 5. Purpose-driven motivation. Meaning and contribution. Here, effort becomes more than personal satisfaction. It transforms into service. People at this level act not just for themselves, but for something larger, a mission, a cause, a belief that their actions ripple beyond their own life. A teacher shaping young minds, a doctor staying late to ease someone's pain, a creator using art to move others toward change. This is the realm where meaning fuels persistence. Obstacles turn into fuel. Exhaustion feels different when the work aligns with identity. The danger, however, lies in attachment. When your sense of worth fuses entirely with purpose, burnout and guilt can creep in when progress slows. At this level, you no longer chase motivation, you embody it. Level 6. Transcendent motivation. Beyond the self. At this stage, motivation detaches from ego entirely. It's no longer about success, legacy, or recognition. It's about alignment with something timeless. People here act because they must, not because they're rewarded. Their drive feels more like gravity than desire, a pull toward what feels right, necessary, inevitable. This is where monks devote their lives to silence, scientists chase universal truth, and visionaries build systems they may never live to
to see completed. The satisfaction doesn't come from finishing the task, but from becoming one with it. The boundary between the doer and the doing dissolves. It's rare, almost spiritual, the kind of motivation that outlives the person who carried it. Level 7. The paradox of motivation. At the final level, something strange happens. Motivation itself disappears. You no longer need to be motivated to act. Discipline, purpose, and flow have merged into identity. The person who once searched for reasons to keep going has become the reason. Action flows naturally, without internal negotiation. There's no resistance, no self-talk, no "should I do this?" It simply happens. Ironically, reaching this stage often means realizing that chasing motivation was never the point. Motivation fades, but momentum remains. The work continues not out of pressure or passion, but because stopping no longer makes sense. This is the paradox. When you stop needing motivation, you've mastered it. And if you'd like to keep growing, you already know what to do. Subscribe and keep learning with us.